welcome to the B Team Podcast. I am your host, Josh Safran, with my co-host,
Matt Mars,
and our permanent guest,
Rob Nelson.
We're here every week to talk to you about all things Bentonville, bourbon, and business. The B Team Podcast. Be here. Welcome to the B Team Podcast, where we're focused on Bentonville, bourbon, and business. We're here with my co-host,
Matt Mars, and
permanent guest,
Robert Nelson.
Hello, Robert. And we always start off with our bourbon tasting, and we have Russ Kempton, the man, the myth, the legend, the icon.
Yes.
The mayor of the bourbon community from Speaking of Grapes and Grains. And today, we're going to do something a little different, because what we want to do today was, you normally select the bourbons and you could do all your research. Today, we had Matt bring something and that you didn't know we were bringing, to see how amazing you are on something you didn't know was going to be here until it showed up.
Yeah.
So this is the time for you to shine. You have to do your homework on the fly.
I want you to tell me. I mean, this is one of my favorites, so I want you to kind of tell me.
All right. So, Matt, this is one of your favorites. That's good. I mean, no pressure here. Not at all. Yeah. But again, thanks for having me, Josh and Rob and Matt. Good to be back on the B Team with you guys. It's always a pleasure to be here. And so, yesterday, Josh said, there's going to be one in the lineup tonight since I'm not bringing it, and that's fine. I'm very familiar with Old Carter. The Carters, they developed a brand, Kentucky Owl, and they sold it to Bacardi, several years ago, and then they have their brand namesake tonight. And this is high proof, so when you look at, Old Carter here, and you look at barrel strength, so when you see cask strength, barrel strength, basically means there's been no water added after maturation. Not been proofed out.
Yeah,
so this is close to 140 proof. So actually, this is right at 139.2 proof. If it gets about to 140, we call it hazmat. This is pretty close. This is high octane. 12 years though, but this is not a bourbon. What does it say on the label? It says American whiskey, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. It says American whiskey. Doesn't say bourbon. There is bourbon in here, but they're also using used American oak barrels. So once you go from new bourbon barrels to used, you set to be a bourbon whiskey of America. Now you're an American whiskey by law. And so this does not have, after 12 years, it doesn't have that big, dark, rich mahogany color spectrum because of those new barrels that are used. And then the old barrels, and this is brought down the color spectrum just a little bit, just a tinge, and that's okay. But on the nose here, again, an inch from your nose, open your mouth, and let these grape vapors come on in. I get a lot of black licorice just instantly.
If you slowly sip it, the flavor is like, for how high the proof is, you would think it would burn.
But that's what I was saying. I was going to say exactly that. I've had 139 before, and it's like it's on fire going down. This is smooth. I didn't realize it was 139 until you told me. I mean, this is very smooth for
taste and drink like a 139.
No,
why?
Not at all.
Why is that?
It's the barrels.
Okay,
the barrels are really helping mask that proof point. It softens it up because of that used barrel influence. Again, 12 years for whiskey in America is a big.
I mean, drops or
we don't get caught up. We don't get caught up with age in America because we don't need to.
Yeah.
But the sweet spot for our bourbon and our American whiskey, our Tennessee whiskey, our rye, etc., the sweet spot is between 10 and 12 to 15 to 18 years within that lane of 10 up to 18. This is the equivalent when you see 12 years old. This is the equivalent to a 36-year-old Scotch. For every year in the United States for bourbon or Tennessee whiskey maturation, it takes over 3 years in Scotland due to lack of heat. So when you have that 12 years in Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, in this high proof, and then using those used barrels with the new barrels, it really softens it up, and the sweetness comes out too, doesn't it?
That's in my wheelhouse. So these guys have really added a ton of water.
A ton.
Just a couple drops does the trick, though.
Yeah, so, that was about 3.
I added 3 here.
Yeah, I had like 3, 4.
You filled the thing up, and you might as well just dumped it in, but I'm going to he says.
Putting creme brulee.
Putting the water in there, it's like dessert now.
Creme brulee.
Yeah.
Think about creme brulee right out of the oven.
That's what it is.
You get those caramelized sugars, those sugar vanillas,
Yeah.
There's always a little bit of toffee on here. The astringency is not there, meaning the oak influence. I'm not getting a lot of that. But I do get that brown sugar. I do get a lot of sweetness from the corn. Get that spiciness from the barrel influence.
This is my first time having it. It's very tasty. And definitely doesn't drink like 139 proof.
And that's the chameleon. This is a chameleon whiskey, where it does not act like it should be with 139 point, proof.
So what you're saying, it'll sneak up on you.
It will sneak up on you big time. I swear, I would not have more than, I would not drink more than 2 of these in one sitting.
I might need a chair with arms.
Dinner should be interesting tonight.
Oh God.
So how do they? So it's just basically that you have used barrels that the part of the whiskey comes from, and that's what.
Yeah, they're using a lot of new oak, and they're using some used oak here at the same time.
Okay.
And that once you use that used oak, it ceases to be a bourbon. By our beverage alcohol laws in America since Prohibition.
Okay.
That's okay though.
Well, and the reason I brought it is it's one of my favorite, but it's harder to get.
Yeah.
And I wanted you to tell me why it is what it is, or if there's what else. So are there any other brands of whiskey or that you recommend that have the kind of a profile like this?
Well, so Boondocks.
I've never had
not Boone's Farm, man. Not Boone's Farm.
They American whiskey out there that's exceptional.
Okay.
It's not as high as proof of this one.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
which that's fine.
Yeah, this is a rarity, and I'm glad you brought it for everybody to share and get the feedback, the yin and yang, that really good effect back and forth here.
It's a winner.
It is a winner, and the price point. You bought it in Kentucky how many years ago?
Yeah, probably 5
years ago. About 150 bottle that ballpark today on the secondary market, or if you can find it, is inching up to 300 to 450 bottle.
Whoa.
So he brought an expensive bottle for us today.
Well, I just think people are, and it's not in the allocated world. It's not expensive, but I think they have a lot of people that know about it, but it's still not like mainstream.
Well, maybe a lot of people will pass on it, or they're scared of it.
Yeah,
because of that high proof. But it's smooth.
And don't walk away from it, because this is the proof of the pudding, right?
Yep.
So a lot of people say, okay, I'm a bourbon snob or an enthusiast. They go, oh, I see American whiskey. I'm going to walk away from that. Well, that's a mistake, number one, just because it says American whiskey.
Drink what you like.
100% all the time. Drink what you like. Don't
chase
listen
labels.
to the noise. Don't listen to the noise.
Don't chase labels. Don't chase price point. Enjoy what you like.
But what's interesting about this,
do all that, you get frustrated.
Yeah.
But Russ, if you went to an allocated auction at fill in the blank liquor store in town, and Old Carter was there, and it was Blanton's, and it was Eagle Rare, like Blanton's and Eagle Rare would get picked before this many times.
It would.
Because of the label and the name.
And this legacy.
Yep.
So we're talking legacy with those brands, right? Legacy brands. Right. People see legacy instantly. They see a brand that they're not familiar with. And 9 times out of 10, they go, well, I've never heard of it. I'm not familiar with it. I'm a bourbon hound in order, not me, but in general.
Right.
That person who is that person is going to walk away from it 9 out of 10 times. That's the stats. 9 out of 10 times they're going to walk away from it.
But here's the thing. A new person, I can see that happening, right? Because they're just not familiar. But as you become more and more into collecting, tasting, enjoying, then you expand your horizon. Just like watches, cars, boats. I'll leave it at that.
All things I don't have.
Yeah. I'm not sure. We don't want to go any further down the line, but
Russ, thank you again.
Thank you so much.
And Matt, thank you for your generosity, man. Matt, that was very generous of you.
Need you this
I
morning.
feel like we're going to get a bill from this one.
Oh,
but I would think the biggest takeaway from this is, besides having me as a guest again, is the takeaway is for you sharing your brands from your collection.
That's the biggest shock, quite honestly, in the day.
That is. That's a great.
Matt's getting nervous.
No, I always said
He's tapping the microphone.
So I get this out for a lot. I always have one open at my house because this is my drinker that I like. But I only get it out for certain people because most people have a drink of it and then they don't want to drink anymore. So it's unless you're.
I feel good that we made the cut. That's a big deal.
I mean, it was hard. I looked at it was looking at me over there.
I was like, paying the bill tonight.
Matt will be like,
So was it a 50-50?
I said, bring some tomorrow, and this showed up. I knew he liked us.
the hardest thing, and then you know this, everyone in the allocated game, you have your heart set on all these allocateds, but a lot of them you open and try, and it's a big downer.
It is.
So that's why it's nice to, like, I got this. I had a friend that was a pilot, and he's like, hey, this is really good, and I've had it. And he brought me a bottle, and then, from then on.
Oh, so this was a free bottle that we're drinking right now?
No, I have a few cases, but I was
Cases?
yeah. Oh yeah, this I stockpile because I know you can't get it. It's hard for us to get.
So I don't feel bad at cases.
So
it wasn't like his last.
I made sure that I had like 3 or 4 of these before I got one of them to bring.
Well, as always,
So you're a true hoarder.
Yeah, I am.
He's a hoarder, all right.
Of things I like,
Yeah.
Matt, cheers.
Cheers, John.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Welcome back to the B Team Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Safran, with my co-host
Matt Mars and
Rob Nelson, the guest,
the special guest,
the permanent guest,
the special guest,
whatever you want to call it.
the permanent special guest.
Sure.
We're happy to have you.
I mean, the name keeps
It's changing.
expanding. The special,
Or is it shrinking?
permanent, special.
Or is it shrinking?
That's what she said.
Well, we're off to a good start on this one.
wow,
Anyway,
wow.
the podcast is focused on Bentonville, bourbon, and business. And today we have Bentonville and business here today with a very classy lady, Brenda, who is the owner of River Grille, one of the longest standing steakhouses in town that's reinvented itself multiple times. We're thrilled to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here today. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, I was so excited to ask you to come, and luckily Brenda was like, I would love to come do that.
I'd love to come.
And I was like, this is literally like one of our top places to go, and we want to try to, tell everyone else how we feel about it, and we want you to, I don't know, talk about your business and tell us how you've done it.
Very good.
Well, first off,
All right.
let's do a little cheers.
A little cheers.
Welcome. Thank
Well,
you.
old Carter.
Yeah.
We'll do the air tap. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah. That's nice.
Oh yeah.
Like that? So, Brenda, I've been here since about 12 or 13 years, and I remember coming to River Grille when I first came to town, and it was like River Grille and Bonefish. It seemed like were the places to go. And then over the years, there's like 18,000 new restaurants, and everybody continues to come back to River Grille. Like, what's the secret there? Why have you been able to maintain and grow over time with such a loyal fan base?
Well, I think it has to do with my people. Always my people. I'm only as good as my people are, and I'm a definitely hands-on owner. I'm there every day, every hour. It seems maybe too much, but I think it's important that that you be present and that you're there and you're greeting new guests and making friends and making permanent clientele that keep coming back. So, and I've been blessed to be able to find some just great people that make my job so much easier and do the job that they do every day. So, I think that's a big part of why we're still there. And like I said, we try to reinvent ourselves and do different things and keep it exciting and new and changing our menus. When farm to table was big, we jumped right in with, a local farm to table event and everybody, 20 people sitting at a table, chef would come out, I'd come out, we'd get a local winery, the Nux or somebody come down and they would do the wines and stuff like that. We're doing the event dining in the dark.
Oh, we're gonna come back to that one.
Yeah,
tonight. We're gonna do that.
I've never even heard of this, and I go there all the time. No one's told me. I guess I'm outer circle on that.
Well, I can't believe you haven't done this.
I know. I'm
This is the perfect
excited to
event
do
for
it.
you.
All right, so we're going to get in early. So give us the premise on dining in the dark, because I had to convince these two who love your restaurant. They eat there probably more than anybody else. I was like, I don't even know what this is. But then it's like the coolest thing on your website. Like, sold out. Like, right?
You're right. It's sold out. It doesn't take long. It only takes a couple of days to usually sell it out. So we do it twice a year. How it got started was, I don't know, you guys know Chelsea Handler?
Mhm.
Okay, so I used to watch her all the time, and I thought she's funny.
My wife loves
Yeah.
her.
But when she did the talk show, I'd watch her all the time. And so she had a book, Where's My Vodka? Is that right? Okay. So I was reading that one day, and she talks about a restaurant in New York called Opaque. And I was rolling on the ground so much. It was just so funny to listen to her whole experience. I was like, I've got to bring something like that to Northwest Arkansas. At that time, my executive chef was Rob Nelson, not this Rob Nelson, Rob Nelson from Tuscan Charter. So he was like, let's, we were trying to find something different besides, the farm to table, a different type of experience. So we started this little event. So this will be our 15th year of doing it. So,
but do you physically have everybody, are the lights off? Are people blindfolded? Like what's
So in New York, they do infrared goggles. And everybody they just bring the lights down. The servers wear them. But here, since it's kind of like a pop-up type thing, we blindfold you. We start at the front when you come in. We don't disclose the menu to you. We go over some just basic information. We train you in with your hand on the shoulder and take you to your table, get you seated, and proceed with, usually it's about a 4 or 5 course meal with wine pairings. And
Sounds awesome.
The whole thing that got it started was, or how this all got started was in France. And, they're very particular about their food and cuisine. And they were like, French chef said, I think that, people would enjoy the food more if they didn't have their sight because they have to use their other senses, and they felt like it would be elevated. So he started doing that because, if you see a pepperoni pizza, before, you even really taste it, you already know what it's going to taste like by sight. So the whole idea was to elevate the experience of dining. And then, and they did that a little bit, but then I think, they end up, I think it was over in Germany or something, a monk had a bunch of people that were sight impaired and decided to open a restaurant, and they were the servers. And that's how it got going. And then it carried over to...
So cool, is it?
Yeah, carried over to the U.S., and I think there still are some.
And it's kind of one step further than... So what I've started to do, which I'm weird, but anytime I go to a new restaurant, I just tell the waiter or waitress that I want them just to bring whatever they're known for. And I don't care what it is because I like everything. I'm always like, look at me. And it makes you try something that you would never. So a funny story, and we were at Peddler's Pub one time, and I said I want you to bring me the best pizza that you guys have. And they're like, well, I'm going to bring you it's the arugula and prosciutto and stuff. So he tells me that's what he's bringing me. He leaves, and I tell Carrie, I was like,
that ruined the whole thing.
That was the dumbest idea I did. I'm going to hate that pizza.
It ruined it for you.
No, I know. But, well, it was actually the best. It's one of my favorite pizzas now, and I would have ordered it ever. Yeah. So I think this is like one step further to where there's a lot of things, like you said, you already have in your mind you're not going to like it.
Right.
Yep.
Like we brought, Mallory to have like the little lamb chops.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I don't want one. Well, I made her have one, and now that's one of her favorite things to make. So it's like, I think the dining in the dark idea is really cool.
And do you check, so Rob's got allergies to pretty much everything. So like, how do you do for somebody that's can't eat?
They'll come to dining in the dark.
Like it's just right. I mean,
you can have fish.
Yeah, we'll do
fish and eggs.
It's not the same experience. So like I've had like even vegans come to dining in the dark, and like you can only do so much with vegetables. I mean, that's just it. We can make it.
She's like, here's the different kind of lettuce.
Yeah,
romaine, Italian iceberg.
How do you recognize this flavor? But there's only so much you can do, and like we'll try to make it as close to what we're preparing for everyone else, but it does make it difficult if you have a lot of allergies. And we have a lot of people like we just don't like onions, but they just don't like them. You know what I mean? We prefer it if it's just be an allergy, because like I said, sometimes it just depends on what you do with the onions. So, or whatever it be. So, but we do get a few. I mean, this one that's coming up on Thursday, we do have a couple. We have like a dairy allergy, which again, that can be sometimes pretty tough because it's in a lot of sauces, desserts. But we usually will ask you ahead of time so that we can, accommodate that.
I'm not going to lie. It's possible after this podcast blows up, you may have to do this 3 or 4 times a year. Because if you're only doing it 2 and it's selling out, I mean, we're going to have a worldwide audience here. She's like,
She's like 2.
She's like, this is a pain in the ass, I can tell.
I love the idea that it sells out quickly.
How's that?
What do you open it up to?
We do 80 in the dining lounge, and then we can do up to 20 in the lounger.
So the whole restaurant works.
We will, yeah. This one we will shut down.
That's cool.
That's cool.
We used to, when we first started, we started small with just the smaller private dining room.
And is Thursday already sold out?
It is.
But it sells out quick too, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think we have some seats left in the bar, but usually once I post it, because people are already asking, like, when is it? And we usually do it the first part of March, and then we do one at the end of October. So,
but in reading your body language, it sounds like it's a pain in the keister, and you probably been doing more than that.
You know, I've been doing this for 15 years. So I don't know. It's a pain. It's fun. The servers and my staff love it because it's something fun to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, the customers absolutely love it, or they wouldn't come back. Most of these people have done it numerous times, you know, come back over and over again. And what I love is, like, when they come in and, like, the first time they'll, like, do it as a big group, and they'll all, you know, and they're laughing and having a good time. But the next time they come back as a husband and wife, or a partner comes back and they do it. And I said, and it's just a different experience. And I love it because there's no distractions. And, you know, they're just really, really enjoying their experience and enjoying each other. So it's maybe sometimes too much on that end. I have to remind them that you're blindfolded, but we're not.
What I would love to see is, like, if I sat down and my wife would be like, hey, sit me over there away from him, and she would know the difference. I had a great meal and Josh is nowhere to be found, so that may be good.
Well, we've done a little bit of that game playing too. So, especially when it first started, we get a lot of, like, chefs or people from the restaurant business that come and want to do that. So everybody's always wanting to play a trick on each other. I had a group that, same thing, like you said, you know, they were a big group of them. They came into every one of them, and then they said, you know, this time, can you set her at somebody else? I was just table.
Imagine taking your blind.
I love it.
You don't know anybody at your table.
So we've done some of that.
So in October,
I'm just gonna sit here and drink.
we may have to put Rob at a different table.
For people who move their, you know, the person will move their silverware around, its glasses around.
The problem with me is I'm so loud. Carrie said it's a problem.
She would hear you all the way across the restaurant.
Yeah, they're like, Matt, you could sit in the other half, and I'd have to listen to you the whole time.
But the craziest thing is, it's the loudest the restaurant ever will be, because I think because you don't see people, they're not responding to you. You talk louder because you're looking for, you know, validation that somebody hears you. I guess I don't know, but it is so loud. It's so loud.
It's it's like when you're overseas and you don't speak the language and you, like, try to talk louder to them, and it's like they still don't know what you're saying. It's just loud and they don't know.
Brenda, you know what would be great? Have you ever been to that place Lambert's where they do the throat rolls?
Yes.
If you had throat rolls where people are blindfolded, there'd be rolls bouncing off Rob's head. I mean, like, we gotta always amp it up a little bit. That would be great.
Yeah, she's like, no.
But let's do the dining in the dark now. So we'll blindfold whoever you want. I know you're not a big fan of blindfolds anymore, but I say
There's been a lot of allergies we might want to.
We'll stay away from that. My big one's fish.
Okay.
So I say we go with Matt.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'm all about eating.
You have food for one or for two?
I got food for two.
Let's do.
All right, what I do?
Rob, you get to be that. It's like excited for you.
Yeah. Hey, Brenda's got a blindfold.
I've got the official blindfold.
Oh, nice.
Here, Brenda, I'll do it for you. I'd love to throw that on it.
And I'll let them get blindfolded before.
It feels like we have to make reservations now for October. Should we get, like, a table?
We do still have some seats available on the bar. The whole thing with the bar area is it's the high top tables, so I'm always a little leery about putting people in there.
I need something to do. Rob has to have an armchair.
So we can still do some seats in there for right now. So, but very limited. I think I only have maybe 3 or 4 tables left. Is it dark? It's dark. Do we need to?
I'm dining in the dark. Oh, God.
All right.
So wait a minute though. Is Rob gonna feed Josh?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think we should have Rob feed Josh.
Kind of like that, but the whole experience is you got to feed yourself.
Oh.
It is. And
I thought we'd have Rob do it.
Didn't I feed Rob that one episode where we had the dropper in his mouth? That was
you did.
That was a ratings bonanza.
You did baby bird
and the brownie or whatever it was.
So yeah, when we do these, we usually try to make sure it's something that we can do, that it's easy for you to eat. So everything I did today is very easy for you to eat. So you won't need knives and forks and stuff like that. You'll be able to pick that up with your hands. Now we do sometimes you will need a knife or fork or something to use your utensils. Or I mean to use to eat with. But today you will not have to do that.
And then we just start on one side, or is there just?
Yeah. So typically we'll bring it out and we'll say you've been served, and with this course you can use your hands. Or we'd say with this course you might want to use a knife and fork.
Brenda, for us divorced guys, saying you've been served, I just had chills coming up. Well, let's find something a little different.
There's also a good chance. Since you guys are blindfolded, there's a good chance you're going to smell this later as well too.
So the whole idea is to use all those senses.
Okay, so are we ready?
Taste. Yes, both of you.
Stuff on the plate. Okay.
I'm going to start the next one. And it's not always like, I think in the past, especially when I've had chefs for a long time, I had a chef for 6 years.
That's very good.
He would do like really exotic type stuff. But, you know, the whole idea is that, you know, it's stuff that maybe you will recognize or you should recognize.
So what tell the viewers, like, what are you smelling? What are you tasting? What do you think you're eating? Because I know what you're eating and tasting.
It's definitely got a pastry on the outside. What do you think about that, Matt?
Yeah, it's pastry.
Oh,
It's got some salmon in it.
Salmon and like cream cheese.
Yeah.
And then like
Some asparagus, maybe?
some green onion.
there you
Yeah.
go.
I feel some asparagus.
Yeah, asparagus. You guys nailed it.
You guys now?
I already had it in my asparagus pea. I already smelled it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh peed a little bit. He could tell it was asparagus.
Oh, God.
A PG-13 show. It's very
And it's
good.
a nice smoked salmon. And
Yeah.
the asparagus is a pickled asparagus. So give you some nice different flavors in there and some nice texture, which is another thing we really try to do is lots of texture and lots of different.
Neither of you missed your mouth.
Well, we both have large mouths.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's really, really tasty.
What is this on the menu or just something special?
No, usually everything that we do for this meal is usually not on the menu. Now, sometimes, like if it's a real hit, we might do that. So, like we played with this a little bit and thought that would make a really good Mother's Day appetizer or something. So, we might do stuff like that. So, a lot of times, the items that we do for this is very time consuming. Sure. So, you know, with the regular menu, it's always, you know, you've got to come up with stuff that's, you know, easy to prepare.
Now, Brenda, for the people that are not using napkins in their lap and they're trying to figure out like how to wipe their face off, I mean, did you just use the shirt of the person next to you, or?
Or a lot of times people just grab the tablecloth and
Yeah.
hold that. They do that even when they're not blindfolded. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, really? What happened here?
Oh, this is gonna be a good one.
I don't know if I'm excited by that or nervous by that.
That's why you're blindfolded.
Oh, it'll be good if it.
I'm sure it's tasty.
Oh yeah,
It
looks amazing.
I did have a lot of help from Chef Ryan Carroll, who's my executive chef right now. There, and he's doing a great job. This would be his. I think this will be his 4th dining in the dark with us.
Okay.
So,
And Brenda, it's normally 4 or 5 courses, including a dessert.
right. So the dessert is one of the courses. So it's usually 4 courses, and then there's an tiramisu, and then usually a bread course. So you could take that as 5 courses. And then, like I said, we do a wine pairing. And one of the fun things we do at the wine pairing is make sure that we serve the wines at the right temperature. And
Okay.
Ready?
No,
I'm down. I was excited.
but we serve them at the right temperature. So white wines are served at 65, and the reds are served at 63. So sometimes that really plays with everybody, you know, knowing if it's red or white. I'm always amazed when like wine, oh, I think that's a white wine, and it's actually a red wine.
So this one feels like maybe it's on a crouton or something.
Yeah.
There's a lemon taste on it. Also some seafood. Very good.
Wow, this one's good.
I'm worried I'm going to be wearing it, though.
what type of seafood you think?
I think it's maybe shrimp. Shrimp?
No, it's not.
You guys aren't doing so well on this.
It's not shrimp.
You guys are doing very well though with your.
Not tuna.
I could hear Matt crunching.
I'm just, mine already broke in half, and I'm already missing half it.
I think it just fell off.
Yeah, just pick it up with your fingers.
Oh, come on, have a little class.
What is that? Hold on. Come on, Josh.
Is it tuna?
No. That took a guess. It's actually, it is beef tartare.
Oh, I never would have got that.
I never would have either.
Never would have got that.
Yeah, it is beef tartare. So,
Never would have got that.
And see, that's one of those things that I might not have eaten.
right.
I thought it was
not
yeah.
Oh, beef. I mean,
Yeah, like
what?
you If you told me that we're having beef tartare, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not gonna eat that.
No, me neither.
But it's really good.
It is good.
Now with your beef tartare, do you put the raw egg in it as well too?
We do. And now this one, instead of, because I wasn't going to be, it's usually just the yolk
Right.
that you put in the center. Because of that, we incorporated the yolk into
And Matt, what was funny
the
is
mixture.
you said
It's
you
another way to do that.
you like this
smells
better than the
wonderful.
first course, right?
Yeah,
But you never would order this.
I never would have ordered.
But it's better than the first one.
100%.
That's crazy.
And I think sometimes with the tuna, because it has that meaty, a lot of people will confuse the beef
Right.
like a tuna.
I never
Yeah.
would have done it. And I never would have ordered it.
No,
And it's delicious.
It's amazing.
It's really, really good.
Even with the capers, did you guys pick up on the capers?
I thought there was a lemon.
Yeah,
And it's,
Yeah, it's a,
the
yeah,
saltiness of
right?
the caper.
A little bit.
That was really
There's
good.
a little caper
Really,
in the
really
mouth, and then I put some just dried capers on the top, give you that little bit of crunch. And
Okay, you guys got one more coming.
one more coming.
That was really good. And you know what?
See,
Matt?
like that, I would
Never.
if you would have told me. I wouldn't have wanted to eat it if you would have told me what it was.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they're like, they have their meat, cooked all the way or whatever. And I said, I think that's always fun when you're able to have them try something that they think they wouldn't enjoy. This is the last one. I like the idea. And again, with this one, you're trying to give you lots of texture, lots of just in the feel, trying to awaken that sense to you and the feel of the
The crunch and that bite threw me off.
Got some amazing blue cheese in it.
Yes, it does.
You have a little on your
And I'm just going to tell you, I hate blue cheese. And
Really?
hate.
Freaking money.
And this is good. Yeah. What's in the inside? What's in the middle, though?
Feel like watermelon or cantaloupe or something?
How they doing, Brad? How they doing?
Well, it is a fruit.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah.
Just by looking at it.
Yeah.
Apples?
But fig would be good.
Fig.
No.
That's not.
He thought
I
it was
thought
fig.
it was fake looking at that.
Apple?
What is that? It's amazing.
A grape.
That's a great.
Brenda. Brenda, that is a 10. I would order that every time you're
Can I take are we done? Can I take this off?
Yeah, that was it. That was a great.
That was the biggest grape I ever had. That was, again, that would not
You try to and
I would not have ordered that either.
yeah, so it's
But if you
That
really
thing.
think about it, right?
grapes, blue cheese.
You
yeah.
thought the tartar. How do you say it?
Tartar.
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 Was amazing and something you would have never ordered. He would never thought he was eating grape, but if you saw the grape, then you'd know it
Right.
was a grape.
Yeah.
But not only that, I would look at my wife and go, I will not eat blue cheese. Was that blue cheese?
It was blue cheese.
And what was the outside?
Just walnuts, just crushed walnuts.
So
They were
when
toasted walnuts.
you're at her restaurant and you have her blue cheese stuffed olives, there is a lot there must be a big difference in blue cheese because I'm also not I don't seek it out. I get it every time when I'm at your restaurant, but there's certain blue cheeses that like that. I would order that.
Yeah, that was important.
But
But
you wouldn't order that.
Feel good after you eat.
Yeah, but you wouldn't order that like say, oh, I'm going to have this.
No.
But now having eaten it, you would order
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that was the big thing for me today. Of the 3 dishes going in, I would only have ordered the first one, right? And I would not have ordered the other 2, and the other 2 were better than the first one.
Very good.
Yeah, 100%.
Weird.
So if any of this is on your menu, that's going to be good.
That was weird. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Definitely, just in case anybody's listening to the podcast, I want to make sure I didn't do anything that was on the menu for the 7th.
Yeah.
But we'll be definitely.
Just in case anybody's listening, we have a
Hopefully no one's listening. I saw you guys only have 35. Make sure you tune in and subscribe.
That was actually coming to that either. No. I wanted to do something different.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
That's what you meant.
I knew what you meant.
Yes. So what's next for River Grille? Anything exciting coming up? Menu changes? Anything you want to share
So
with
yes,
our listeners?
we are doing menu changes.
Don't change too much, though.
Nope. We're a steakhouse, so we're never going to change the fact that we're a steakhouse doing great steaks. So, and there's not a whole lot you can do when you're a steakhouse because people go to a steakhouse because they want that comfort food. They want the potatoes. They want the cream corns and the steak. That's why they're going there. They're not going there to get to, French cuisine.
I will say, though, your king crab with a steak.
Best king crab ever, right?
Yeah, it's so good. Cooked to perfection. I mean, for everyone who's listening, if you like king crab, it's a must.
And it's so much. So what I do, because I'm cheap, what I do is I let Rob order the king crab with the steak, and I know that I'm going to get one of the legs. And like, this isn't legs. Like this is a leg where it's like a size hot dog.
It's a small.
I heard that you only order bread, and then whatever's left over, you give it from anybody.
But no, it's you always have such great things on your menu, and the service is a 10. So.
Well, I want to spend some time on that because I have a business in town, and we're only known for as good as the service is, and it's an experience. And I've had good steaks in town, and your steaks are amazing. I think the difference is the experience and the service that you get. Like the staff is so good, and they're so attentive, and they're having two-way dialogue, and we actually encourage them to stay at the table and talk to us because they're so good. I mean, what's the secret with that?
I think they just really enjoy their jobs. And I always tell people, when you're in this business, when you don't enjoy it, when you're not looking forward to coming in, then you got to get out, because it really does make it hard for everyone else that's in it, to stay positive and up. And I said, that's a big thing for me. We all have problems outside of work and you come in, I said, my job is to start off with making sure I'm not bringing those problems here, and that I'm always upbeat and I'm ready to go. And then I'm excited about the night. And I think that just trickles down, from management to the staff. And of course, I have some amazing staff members that, bring it every day.
They've been there for a long time.
But that speaks to you.
Yeah.
I mean, in the barbershop, I would say you can go up and down the street and get a job cutting hair. You can go up and down the street and get a job serving, but they stay because of you and the culture and the environment that you create.
Well, it could
taking
be
care
customers.
I'm going to go with a lot of it as a customer.
Rob is a very generous tipper.
We have some of the best customers. we do. Yeah, we've been very blessed with wonderful, wonderful guests, customers. They make the job fun. I mean, it really does. That's what you want. You want to go there and you want to have fun. You make your money and they go home. And it's like, I even had one of my servers say the other day, she goes, I come here because I want a break from there. And I want to come and I want to have fun and I get to do that. And it's nice, a break from, just reality back home.
You know what else I love about your staff? Every time I go to a restaurant, I say, what would you not order? Everything's amazing. I don't want to hear that nonsense. And they'll be like, this is really good tonight. This is fresh. This was not my favorite yesterday when I tried it. This is really good. And they're always spot on. And I don't feel like it's an upsell. I feel like it's very genuine around what they're enjoying and why. And I'm like, just bring me out whatever you're telling me is good tonight.
Yep, I think that's great too. And Chef's really great about letting them try whatever he's doing for the evening. So just the art, whatever it is, the new desserts, the entrees, if we're, doing a feature or a catch that night, he's always making sure that they're, they're educated on it, and then staff meeting before the shift. So that makes it really easy for him to upsell.
Yeah. And I think the other reason that she keeps it as good as she does is she's up there every day at probably noon until midnight or later. I mean, we barely got her in to talk with us because she's like, I got to be back.
Got to be back.
Talk a word about your wine selection.
That's
wine selection.
That's something I pride myself in from day one. When we opened that place, I wanted to make sure that I got on Wine Spectator. And it took us, a couple of years to get there, but we definitely got on there. And I've got a great wine director now with Trevor, who's also the restaurant manager, and he's great with that. He was out in California and did a lot of wine directing out there, and now he's with me. But it was something that I had a lot of passion about. I didn't have all the knowledge going into it, but it's like anything else. You just really dive in, and I learned everything I could, and then developed the menu.
We were there the other night, and we ordered a bottle of wine. I think you came up to the table, and you're like, how'd you know about that?
Yeah.
The description was amazing.
Yeah, we're like, I don't know, but this is the third one that we had.
Yeah, always. And that are, we love that. We love introducing you to new wines, and that's something that I focus on, is making sure it's not, we do have the wines that are on the end caps, that everybody knows. But I really like to bring new things in and try new things. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. And that's why I try to change up my wines by the glass, because I think that's the opportunity to introduce you to new wines. Mm-hmm. So many times people will come in and they're like, oh, but you took this one off the list, and I always got that one. We'll try this one. And then if it doesn't work, we're willing to go back or try something different. So, we're very, flexible with working with those wines by the glass. Yeah.
So then you were talking about the temperatures.
Yes.
So Rob, he's a new new to the wine connoisseur world a little bit, just because he's got this wine cellar that he can cool it. I thought you said it had to be like in the 50s though.
I keep my red at 55 for storage.
Okay.
I don't know if that's right or wrong, but yeah, that's what I do.
Well, it just depends on most reds. You would serve them at 65, believe it or not, and most of us serve them too warm. I mean, I do at my restaurant also. I do have a special cabinet that I keep the more expensive red wines that we are storing and aging, and it's kept cooler. But even your whites should be served warmer than they are.
So what's the perfect serving temperature?
So 65 for reds, 63 for whites.
Yours is like,
yeah, so it's not a big...
Which you could turn on. It's but it's probably... Yeah, I mean, you could save a few bucks.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's probably by the time you serve it, it probably is. And we've noticed, like, how much more it seems like you like your wine when it's chilled. And I mean, for years, you like...
Roll to that.
Okay.
I was like,
You did.
try this just a little chilled.
Well, and it always tastes better at his house, too, because it's free. He always knows. He always knows if I bring something over because I'll put it up on his shelf and he'll be like, where did this one come?
like, I never remember having
That half bottle of
That's the $9.99 bottle that you picked up on sale with a coupon.
But Matt does have to bring over some really good stuff when he's feeling generous.
It's rare, but it happens every now and then.
Sometimes you get lucky.
Sometimes.
But no, you guys. I always like the private room that you guys have with the covered by like your whole wine cellar.
Our favorite spot though, every time, where do we end up? A bar.
Well, and that's what's so nice about the restaurant is it's got, if you want fine, really fine dining, that's quieter, which I'm not allowed in there probably, but she has her main area, and then we've had big birthday parties in the end where they can close the drinks.
Yep.
And
they had Angie.
So you have so many different areas, or if you want to be loud like I am, you just go.
I don't know. In my last 10 times there, I haven't just gone right into the bar. I don't even know that I've been the other side of the restroom.
We do. We have another side of the restaurant.
Yeah, and it's like a different restaurant though. It's nice. Like
it's very classy.
Quiet, yeah, if you want a quiet date night, you can go over there.
Well, on that side, a lot of times you have someone playing.
We do
piano.
on Fridays and Saturdays. We have Lewis, and he plays.
And he's amazing.
He's absolutely amazing.
So you were there that night, or we were there for a birthday party, and the person that we were celebrating, he's really good on the piano, and he'd let him go play a song or two.
Oh, wonderful, yeah.
I was like, okay, do it
before
But I knew he was really good.
Yeah.
I could tell he was nervous because your restaurant was packed.
Okay.
Who's this random?
Did he run around the tip jar?
No.
Well, that's how I got Lewis.
Okay.
So I had a guy named Terry Baker, and I had him for like 6 years, and then he was moving away.
Okay.
Situations happened, and Lou was in with a birthday party for his mother, and Terry let him step over and play the piano. And then when shortly after, I find out that Terry's son, something had happened with the family, and he had to move, relocate, and so it was just like, I'm calling Lou. He's awesome. So it worked out. Yeah, it worked out really great, and we love him. It's great.
So you've had these guys in for a long time. There's got to be a funny Matt or Rob story that you can share, PG-13 version with the viewers, right? There's got to be something good.
I was joking around. I do have a good Matt story.
Please.
It makes me look really silly. So I know. So I didn't know Matt that well since he's been coming since we opened, but I got to know him a little bit better recently. But so he comes in with Carrie, and they're tucked away in this corner booth in the bar, which a lot of people like to tuck away in the corner, and it's a big booth. So when two people
I know the booth you're talking about.
Yeah, two people sit at that booth, you're like, what's going on?
First right into the right corner, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's the one.
So we were busy, and I come running out of the bar, and I had some food for G3 is what we call that table. And there I see Matt and Carrie. I didn't know that was Matt and Carrie at the time. And I thought it was David. But that wasn't Jenny.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was it.
Snuggled up in the car there. And I'm like, hey, how's it going?
Are you on the phone like TMZ? Like, oh my God, I got some gossip.
I was like, and Matt doesn't act like he knows who I am. Usually, kind of standoffish. And I'm like, well, Dave, you're not being very friendly. And so I go to the bar and ask Mike. I said, Mike, that's Dave over there, isn't it? And he's like, well, yeah, I think it is. I said, well,
It sounds just like
we
them.
sound exactly the same.
and you act a lot alike. Of course, I read that little article in the magazine, and you are the younger, better looking, fit Mars brothers.
Wow.
Yeah, it's funny all the stuff that they. Dave probably thinks that I do.
Yeah. I got to hear this.
I asked Mike, and Mike's like, yeah, I think that's him. And he goes, but that's Jenny. And Carrie has blonde hair, and she calls it and fixes it that way. It's like, no. I'm 100% sure that is not Jenny. So
she's doing recon.
I'm going back and back, and I'm just like, no, what am I going to do? I'm like, I'm going back out. I'm gonna give him another opportunity to act like he knows who I am. So I come back out, checking on things. And then Matt's got this big grin on his face, and he says, do you think you know who I am? And I was like, well, I think I know who you are. He's like, do you think I'm famous? And I was like, what are the chances somebody that looks just like Dave Mars is sitting in my bar with a blonde Jay?
And we figured out what was going on at this point.
She was going Mama Bear for Jenny.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a problem here.
Yeah.
We're going to fix it.
We're going to fix it. I was like, okay. But he had me convinced that, he was.
That's amazing.
Just roamed into town, and, but by the end of
Paparazzi was out in the parking lot waiting for photos.
How did it all get straighted out?
he told me.
Yeah, got it.
And you laughing like
Yeah,
you realize what's going on, right?
I think you're probably afraid I wasn't going to place that call.
It'd be a full blown. You know what?
Yeah, that's so funny. And I'm sure you probably deal with that more than not. But
The only thing that would have made that story better was blindfolded.
exactly.
Dining in the dark. It's not Dave Mars.
You were like, sir, could I get your credit card? We need to get that on file. That's not
That's a great story. At what point did you realize that she was confused on what was going on?
I thought she was like kind of looking at me weird for a while, and I was like,
Well, a lot of people look at you weird.
well, because I'm weird sometimes, but no, it was funny. So now
That's a great story. That's a great story.
Time.
So is Michael Brewer your best customer? We probably need to ask that question.
Shout out to Mike.
Mike always, he wants to get on the show.
He has FOMO of the show. He would murder Rob in the parking lot to take his permanent guest spot if possible.
When he heard you were coming, he was like, I should probably go.
He may be waiting outside right now, not to lie.
Well, G3 is his table. The rule is that I'm not to seat that table until after 6 o'clock. And if he has not arrived, then I'm allowed to seat that table.
That sounds so Brewer.
So Brewer.
So Brewer.
He is so funny. You go in there, and it's like he's on staff. He works the whole
He's
area.
the mayor of your restaurant.
For at least the bar.
He's there right now. I assure you, they have the book club. So
But he can't read.
He's trying to get us to go to that book club. Yeah, we got to go one night. Yeah.
That's so amazing. Shout out to Brewer.
shout out to Brewer.
But I think, trying to think what else we got.
Oh, I got a lot of questions for you. I think we can go all night. Your favorite dish on the menu, if I was to come in for the first, and it's all amazing, I know, but if you said you have to come in and order this appetizer and this main course, what would you say would be your go-to?
Well, the appetizers, and I'm sure you guys have had them, the stuffed peppers.
Yeah,
so that's my item that I put on the menu. So and that all came back years ago with the Walton Arts Center when they used to do the big the wine event they did there, and we'd always have to do like just little appetizers. And the restaurant downtown, Carl's Restaurant, Table Mesa, they had the dates,
All the stuffed dates. Cheap dates.
So I was like, I've got to come up with something better that I can put on my menu, because people would come into my restaurant, believe it or not, and say, you got any of the cheap dates?
Yeah, you're like,
it's not on my menu. So I invented that particular item, so I'm very proud of that one. I think that's definitely one of the items that it's been on our menu the whole time is the shrimp and crab dip, and of course that's probably our most sold appetizer.
That new appetizer is really good, or newer. It's the shrimp wrapped with the bacon.
I think you had
the grits.
Oh, with the grits. Yes.
It's got the andouille sausage in there.
Yep.
Maybe it's not wrapped with bacon.
Not wrapped with bacon, but I think it's blackened. Blackened, yeah. So he always does some sort of shrimp dish, and then he changes. That's one of the things that'll change up seasonally.
Yeah.
You know, he'll change it up. So
One of my favorites.
yeah.
Rather than the main dish. So and give me a meat and then give me a fish, please.
Yeah.
So I always, meats, of course. I mean, we're a steakhouse, so that's what we do. We recently, in the last year, went with Herzog out of Missouri. We were really trying to, again, try to promote the locals, and they really went hard after us. And we buy all their prime meat now, and we finally turned over our fillets to them, and they're aging and doing everything we want them to do, so that they can sell us they're selling all of our beef to us now. So we're thrilled with that, and they do a great job for us. So I'm a filet girl. So you like the marbling, you got to go with the ribeye. But I'm a filet girl. It's aged 35 days before we even bring it in house.
Oh wow.
Yep. And then we age in house before we cut, and then we cut, and it's aged for 2 to 3 days before we actually put it on the grill. So
that's interesting. You say before it's cut. So if I come in there and I want a fillet like that, could I ask?
Oh yes. We always have full loins.
Rob.
Yeah, and we hand cut them.
Learn something new today.
There you go.
Learn something new.
Gotta get the special rub.
For you.
Nelson.
Rob Nelson.
Yeah.
Off the menu, the Nelson.
That
Nelson off the menu.
The Nelson cut.
Brewer's pissed now. He doesn't have his own. Yeah. You're going to hear about this. You will hear about this.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's not listening.
These two, him and Brewer, are in competition about everything.
Everything. And then,
But we've also become really good friends.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and Lisa's amazing as well.
And then seafood.
I would always go whatever seafood that he has. We always have salmon. We have crab. I can't eat crab legs, actually. You guys are talking about how great the crab legs, and I know they are because I hear about them, but I'm allergic to shellfish. So I can't eat any of those things. But whatever, like right now he's doing not the mahi-mahi, he's doing monkfish. So, but that changes up again. It might be swordfish. It might be,
Whatever. So whatever that catches.
Right.
Yeah.
So I always, the fresh catch or whatever fish besides salmon, and not that the salmon's not fantastic, but you can get salmon anywhere. So whatever fish he's serving seasonally is one I recommend, because it's usually something different, a little more unique. He does a little more different. The sauce and he decides.
Because she loves, I'm allergic to fish, right? So we don't really cook fish at home. So when we got over to your place, she always knows she's going to get some amazing fish.
Yeah, yeah. And we have that all flown in. It comes in 3 to 4 times a week.
Now, do you still have that bison tenderloin?
We do have that bison.
I love that.
Yes.
That's one of my
A lot of
favorites.
people like that. So we sell a lot of
The only thing I'm a little disappointed in is you got rid of the key lime pie.
Well, guess what?
Is it back?
It's coming back.
Guess who's back? Back again.
It is so. I would always call Brenda. I'd be like, Brenda, I know it's Christmas, but could I order one of those, the whole pie to take?
She'd be like,
She'll like cake. Come tomorrow on my 4 o'clock.
no Dave Mars. I can't get it for you.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it. We do have one of the best key lime
So
pies.
good,
Really.
yeah.
We have one of the best pastry chefs out there, I believe. So.
Yeah, that's the hidden gem for me, because by the time you eat this massive steak and all the appetizers, it's
hard to get.
Can I bring dessert? I'm like, not really. And they break it like, oh, holy cow. Like, I have to save room. The desserts are fantastic.
He does a great job. He makes really great cheesecakes, his key lime pie, fantastic. So, and I have a lot of people that, for birthdays or whatever it is, they want that key lime pie. I do have to take it off, though, in the wintertime. It's just not a winter dish. It needs to be just the summer. And again, that gets people coming back.
Those blue cheese grapes, man. Going
Yeah, that could be a dessert. That was good.
How would you tell you?
so good. Yeah, I was going to say they have to be such a.
I know.
me.
I was making them, and chef's like, "Oh, maybe we should put those on a board." I'm like, no. I was trying to get the cheese to stick and do all that stuff. It's like, yeah.
Brenda, last question for you. If folks wanted to come to the Dining in the Dark in October, how soon do they have to get it on your website? How soon can we reserve spots now? It feels like we're going to be attending this at some point, because that was so cool.
Yeah.
How do we get to the October one sooner or later?
A lot of people will tell me they want to come, and I start the list because I haven't picked out the date yet. And then I usually will go off that list and I'll call them and say, okay, this is the date. Do you still want to hold your reservation? I do usually send out people on an email list and let them know first, and then I put it on Facebook. And usually once it hits Facebook, and we usually will put it out about 6 weeks before it happens, but it goes pretty fast. And I'm finding sometimes maybe I should just do the 4 weeks, because if you get too far out, but I want people to be able to plan. So usually it's about 6 weeks. This last one, Valentine's Day, kind of caught up with us, and we were a little late to get it out. But like I said, it usually will go, the dining room will usually book out within the first 3 to 4 days.
Hold us 6.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to tough it out with your allergies. Oh, well, you'll be great.
You'll work.
Right.
It's really
If it's just
raw.
Yeah. raw eggs.
We could.
Yeah.
We'll just give them a different piece of lettuce for each of this.
You'll have chicken. You know.
No. I'm on the beef. That beef tartare. I never thought I would see that, but
Without the
it was amazing.
Well, we're gonna have to go.
Yeah.
I want sign us up for 6.
All right. Perfect.
Brenda, this was
I just got to get a hold of you.
this was awesome. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
Continued success.
To you too.
Yeah.
Thank you. B team.
Be there.